So I need your help. Right over there across this pond is a huge white oak tree. And it's been there since I was a kid. But the other day it fell, and I need y'all's help to tell me how to get it out of there. And we're gonna go over there and look at it, so give you some ideas, or some ducks. I don't know what kind they are. They're ducks, so. I need y'all's help and give me some ideas on how to get this out of there, because I'm not gonna be able to do it, I don't think. I'm not sure. But the hills are too steep for when it comes down into the pond. I can't pull my dozer down there because it's too steep and I don't want to slide off in the pond. So I'm thinking the only way to get it out is to float it out, but y'all give me some ideas, and in a week or two, I'm gonna try to use those ideas to get it out. So I hadn't been over there, so I don't know what to expect, whether it's even gonna be salvageable at all. But that tree is kind of sentimental to me because my whole life we've been fishing under that tree to catch brim, and to see it go is a little bit sad, and I don't want it to go to waste. But like I said, it may not be possible to get it out. I got my Spencer tape so we can measure the diameter, and we can measure that tree. It'll be easy because it's got that nail on the end of it. But anyway, so yeah, a little bit sad. Growing up, we'd come down here fishing, and my granddad, there's a pier over here that I can't really mess with the camera because I don't want to fall in the water, but there's a pier over here that my granddad used to fish off of when we were in the boat, and he would catch a lot more fish than we did from the pier than we would catch in the boat because we were just kids, but we didn't really know what we were doing. But it was one of the best spots to catch brim out of, just because it had that shade, and those brim like to go under that tree and make their beds under it. But yeah, I got a few ideas on what I'm gonna do, but I'm just not sure yet. I mean, you can see from the leaves, it's been down a little while. Probably, I would say at least first of the summer, maybe. As dead as those leaves look on it. Obviously, it's been since the springtime. You usually have about, I say 2 years to get them if they're on the ground. If you can keep them off the ground, you got a while, but this one, it's probably going, it being in the water like this, we need to get it on out of there. Again, just looking for some ideas because that hill's too steep over there. Or I would just bring my dozer to the edge of the water. I don't want to slide off in there. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Let's go around this side over here and see what we got. Yeah, this is a huge white oak tree. And white oak makes some really good lumber. So I don't want to waste it for selfish reasons, but also for sentimental reasons. It looks like it's got a crack on it. We're going to go around here and give you a good look at it. And the thing may be hollow. I've not been in here. If it is, then, you know, it'll be something we'll see together. Let me pick this camera up so you can see. I mean, it's sitting above the water on where the best log would be, and I'm making drag that out for some firewood. That's a nice big white oak. Been there since I was a kid. But it looks like it's split back up here. I don't know if it's hollow, but I think I might can get one log out of it. Another question, will white oak float? If it will, it's an idea of maybe I can float it out of here. They get bigger the closer you get to them. It didn't look that big a while ago, but it's a pretty big tree. I don't know, that split. That split may make it where it ain't worth it. It's a pretty bad split. Let's see what we can get. I think we can get one log even past the split, maybe. I'll cut it off, back up. I don't know, I need to cut it off where it don't bury into the mud. For sure, if I cut it too far back here, it's gonna bury into that mud and it's not gonna float. So it has to float. So I'm gonna have to cut it off far enough to where, if it will float, that it has to float. So I can't cut it off where it's gonna hit in that mud. So that's one thing. So let's see where our what our diameter is at this point here where the limb's coming out. So we had to estimate the diameter because I couldn't get out of this, I couldn't get around on this boat. I flipped it over. Because we had to estimate the diameter because I couldn't get around this boat because we might flip it over. But it looks, and I'm just estimating here, but from where this crack splits, from where this split stops to down here where there's some crotch lumber, where the limbs start, I mean, I think we're looking at, now it's going to be a lot of work getting this tree out. I don't know if it's worth it, but I do have some sentimental value, like I said, to this tree. I don't know, I made this boat paddle a few years ago, and that would be something that I could do to redo that boat paddle, just kind of as a keepsake for this tree. And also, on our dock, the boards need replacing, and we were going to do that a few years ago with some treated lumber, but I may redo that dock. That'd be a cool thing to do, to redo that dock with this tree right here. Y'all let me know some ideas on what I could do with that, but that's the dock where my papaw used to fish, so I could redo it with this tree if I have enough boards. If not, I can get some more from somewhere else. But once I cut it past this crack, the back part will be pretty light, being supported a little bit by water, so I might can, you know, pull it out, but I can't pull the whole tree out, so I'm gonna have to cut it off here. But yeah, let me know on the ideas of what I should do with this wood, because redoing that deck, now that I think about it, seems like a good idea. I could redo it with white oak and that'd be pretty, and then maybe find some kind of sealant to cover it with. Let me know, because if I can get this out, I'm gonna take y'all's advice on what to do with this wood. But I think I'll make a few paddles like this, just to have as a keepsake, and then maybe redo that dock. You can see these limbs here, and I might cut some of them up if they're straight enough on the sawmill, but you can see that would be a lot of good firewood. So I think we'll be able to use it. The main thing is, what I'm gonna have to do is, I'm gonna have to cut this limb off here first, and there's a limb going under the water there. I don't know, I've never used a chainsaw underwater, and there's a limb going under the water there. I'm gonna cut them as close to the trunk as I can, but I mean, what'll happen if I get that chainsaw in water? I don't know. But I'm gonna try to walk on this log. It's not gonna be safe either, so I may fall in the water. But so when I cut this back up here, this whole trunk's gonna fall, and these limbs are gonna bury in the mud. So I think I'm gonna have to cut those 3 limbs first. But again, I don't know what that chainsaw is gonna do in water. I know with what I've said that this is a limited, that you're probably not going to be able to come up with a lot of ideas just because you're not here. But I think you can help me out. Now I'm gonna ride over here to this dock and show you the dock, so that when you give me on ideas what to make with this thing, that you can see this dock and what kind of shape it's in. We got an old pontoon boat that we got a while back with no engine on it. When the kids were little, we used it as kind of a floating dock, and it worked pretty good, because you could put 5 or 6 people in there fishing. But we need to take the seats and stuff off of it. It's still got the seats on it. It needs to be completely open, but we haven't done that yet. Sometimes in the winter, there's quite a few ducks on this pond, but it's usually, you shoot one time and they're gone. And they don't usually come back, none of them come back, so. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I can get out and walk over there if I needed to. But we got boards here that we're going to replace it with, and just hadn't done it, but some of the boards are rotten, and really all of them need replacing. Looks like the supports are pretty good, but I might replace them. Just if I'm gonna replace the other, I may replace it all, but we'll see how much wood we got and how much of it we can use. But yeah, that might be the best thing to do for that. So this is what that dock looks like. And you see some of the boards are rotten. And we got some boards to replace them, but this treated lumber don't last near as long as white oak. So, give me some ideas, like I said, for that tree over there. What we should do with it, how we should get it out. And we'll give it about a week to see if we get anything good, and then we're gonna try to get it done.